What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers are an absolute must-win scenario, right? Every game is a must-win game. The Lakers do have the fifth easiest schedule going forward. They have the third easiest in the West in its entirety. So that's in our favor. We had a bit of a scare last night, right, in the Dallas Mavericks game where they jumped out to a 27-point lead, but we kept tacking away at it, and we ended up coming away with the win, 111-108. And the fact that we kept the Mavs to 108 after just their incredibly hot start just shows how good this team is. We locked in defensively, and we showed that, hey, we are a legit defense and a team that can run with the best of them, right? We were shooting and could not, throw a rock in the ocean for a good majority of that game, but we just kept at it, and we were able to come away with the win. And that's going to be huge going forward. This was a real test going forward, and I really like what we saw from the Lakers yesterday. Also, we have another tough test in the Memphis Grizzlies, in which we have to face them in Memphis. Again, every game is a must-win. That is going to be a tough game, especially when we don't know what's going on with D'Lo yet, or at least at the time of recording this, and we don't know what's going on with LeBron James, again, at least at the time of recording this. But regardless, next man up. We have a team. We have depth for a reason now. We have guys that have shown that they could step up. Dennis Schroeder has had some big games in the absence of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is still Anthony Davis, right? He can go give us 30 and 15 if LeBron ends up missing a game or two. Hopefully, D'Lo is back in time for that Memphis game. So even if, say, we do miss LeBron for a game or two or something like that, hopefully D'Lo's back. He's a guy that we know can go get 20 a night. So we do have the pieces in place to at least contend with these other teams while LeBron kind of rests that foot, if that's what it comes down to. Hopefully, LeBron's okay. Hopefully, it was just like a little tweak or something. He'll be good to go come the Grizzlies game tomorrow. But regardless, after the Grizzlies game, we have the Thunder in Oklahoma City, and then we have like a 5-game homestands. Now, obviously, even if whether we win or lose against the Grizzlies, we'll take it as we may. I would like to get the win, but the Thunder, we have to win. From after the Grizzlies game, we play the Thunder, we play the Timberwolves, the Warriors, the Grizzlies again, the Raptors, the Knicks, the Pelicans, all in like all the way up until March 12th, right? Or March 14th is the Pelican game. And with that, we have to beat all of those teams, because the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Warriors are all in front of us. If we do happen to lose to the Grizzlies tomorrow, we play the Grizzlies at home. We need to win this homestands. We need to win that Thunder game, and we need to get that homestands where we play those 5 or 6 games, and then we play the Pelicans in New Orleans. That's another huge win. And then the Rockets, and then we play the Mavericks again. So we definitely need to at least beat the teams in front of us the rest of the way. And luckily, we have a lot of them, right? We play the Thunder twice. Still play the Pelicans, play the Timberwolves twice. We got the Dallas Mavericks still. We play Utah twice. All of those games really have to be just playoff, do or die, game 7 type of basketball. But we also need a little help. And luckily, we have been getting that. So luckily, all the teams in the West that are in front of us have been losing. Clippers are on a 2-game losing streak, and they look kind of clunky and like they can't figure it out. I mean, they scored 175 points and still lost to the Sacramento Kings. Right now, we're 3.5 games out of the 4th seed. We're 3 games out of 5th seed, and we're 2.5 out of 6th. We're only a half game out of, a full game out of a play-in spot. So we're right there, right? If we beat the Pelicans and the Timberwolves, we're in the play-in. Bare minimum, we are in the play-in, right? And then if we can, beat the Warriors and the Mavericks, all of a sudden we're inching for that 7-8 seed. Now, ideally, we would love to get into the 6th seed. Ideally, we still need these teams to lose, but luckily, most of these teams have a very tough schedule, especially the Clippers. The Clippers don't look very good right now, and they have the 5th hardest schedule in the NBA. They could start dropping if they can't figure things out. Dallas has a lot of questions defensively. They haven't been very good with Luka and Kyrie, right? Or at least that's kind of what the projection is by the media. And so their problem is just defense. They can't stop anybody. And so how do they fare going forward? Are they a team that can rally troops? The Jazz, yes, they've won. They keep winning, but they've had a lot of like easy games lately. They start getting into like some tough stretches coming up, so they should start falling down the standings. Timberwolves and Pelicans, they have tougher schedules, and we play them. We play the Timberwolves twice. We got to win both of those games because that would give us 2 full games on the Timberwolves. And then if we beat the Pelicans, that would give us another full game on the Pelicans. And then we would have the tiebreaker on the Pelicans because we would have won 3 games to 1. So that is something we absolutely need to do. And then that just inches us so much closer. And this team, I really believe this team can do it. I do. I really think this. I would be shocked, like, no way that we don't at least make the play. At least make the play. Knock on wood, even if LeBron didn't play the rest of this, like, season. Now, obviously, we need him for the playoffs. Even if he didn't play the rest of the season, I still think we have a shot, not to get the 6th seed or maybe even that 8th seed, but at least get into the play-in. So if LeBron can play and he can play at least, 18 of the next 21 games or something, I think we're at bare minimum. I think we're in the 7th or 8th spot, just with the teams in front of us, and especially if we win the games that we need to win, right? Like I said, the Grizzlies, it would be nice to get the win against the Grizzlies, but like that's a team you could swallow. We're not going to catch the Grizzlies, in the standings. So it's like, okay, like, yes, we need that win. But if you were to lose to a Western Conference team, it's the Grizzlies, right? It's those teams, the Suns, the Clippers, the Mavs, the Warriors, the Jazz, the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, the Blazers. Those are the teams that we have to beat. Those are the teams that are in front of us. Us sitting where we're sitting, we have a real opportunity here. And I think we have the depth. I think we have the talent. I think we have the defense. We've been number 1 in total defense. And we're number 2 in defensive rating. So we've shown that we are a good defense team. I believe by the time we get through this stretch of games and we get into the playoffs, I think we'll be a top 5 offense. I mean, we're number 6 right now, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that we move up another spot, especially as we get healthy and we start playing more games as an entire team, right? D'Lo's missed some games, LeBron has missed some games, and yet we're still 6th in offense. And then on top of that, I really do believe we stay a top 5 defense. So if you're a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense, you are a legit contender. There are very few teams in the league that are top 5 in both offense and defense, and usually the teams that win the NBA championship are the top defensive and offensive teams, right? So if we can squeeze in that spot, we have a real chance of getting there. Now, it is still a war. It is still an absolute uphill battle. I'm not saying lock it in, Lakers are NBA champions 2023. It's not what I'm saying here. I just want to give a good perspective and a good outlook, because I do think we have a real opportunity. The West is either everyone is equally as good or everyone is equally as bad, however you want to look at it. But luckily, the West really isn't this juggernaut this year. Anybody, I mean, you can make an argument for any of these teams, 1 through 7 to win an NBA championship. And then you get the Lakers into it. I think 1 through 8, you can make an argument. Like Denver, the Grizzlies, the Suns, the Clippers, the Warriors, for sure, you can make an argument that they could win an NBA championship, right? Kings, I still think that they're too young, and I think that their defensive liabilities, I don't think will get it done. But they've been solid this year. Dallas, same thing. I think that their defensive liabilities, I don't think is going to be able to get them there. But I do think the Kings and the Mavericks could win a series. I do think that they could surprise somebody. I think that they could come in and, just make things difficult. Like, I think the Kings match up well against the Grizzlies. I think the Kings could make if they were to play, not saying that they would because they're 2 and 3, but I'm saying, if for whatever reason the Kings slide down the standings and they end up getting matched up with the Grizzlies, I could see them beating the Grizzlies, right? I just think that you have all these teams that are clustered together and you can make an argument for all of them. And if the Lakers get in the playoffs, I really believe that they're in that conversation with those handful of teams. I think that they are, without a doubt, one of 6 teams maybe that I think that have a real shot of coming out the West. And then, you get into the NBA Finals, you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Take your chances, right? With this team, I like them. I like how we match up against the Bucks. I like how we match up against the Celtics. I definitely like how we match up against the Sixers. I actually think we would actually beat the Sixers pretty handily, if I'm being honest. One, there's always concerns about James Harden. I think Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid can wash each other out. I think LeBron is better than James Harden, in my opinion, and I think we have more depth than they do, in at least my opinion. So if we played the Sixers, I would love to play the Sixers personally. But I think realistically, it's probably going to be one of the Bucks or the Celtics. I think the Celtics, I think we have a good shot against, because they still, even this season, they just seem to have trouble in big game situations. And I think if we, which the NBA Finals is going to be that kind of thing, you're going to have a lot of big game situations, and LeBron is one of the best in those situations. And I think I would trust LeBron in those moments to make the right play or get his team to rally together. The same thing. Same reason why I thought the Celtics would lose to the Warriors last year. I was like, they struggle in big game situations. I was like, they're a young, inexperienced team that hasn't been there. The Warriors are just going to continue to do what they do because they're a well-oiled machine. And as soon as Boston starts feeling that pressure, they're going to panic and they're going to fall apart. And that's exactly what happened. Like the Celtics should have been up 3 games, and instead they just never won a game after that because they just fell apart and continue to fall apart. I see the same signs this year as I did last year. Milwaukee is the only team that I look at and go, man, they would be very tough. And again, not saying that we can't beat them. I just think that they're going to be very difficult. But regardless, I like our chances. It is an uphill climb. It is an uphill battle. Luckily, teams are helping us. Teams are doing us favors. We gotta get to 500 soon. We're 3 games out of 500. We're on a 3-game winning streak. We're 4-1 since the trade, and the one loss we had was a Blazers team that just shot the lights out. And Portland's been playing like insane offensively. Damian Lillard's been balling out of his mind. So it's just unfortunate. It's a streak that the Blazers are on right now, and the Lakers just had to be a part of that. And, it happens, though. That's how the NBA works. And we got to keep just winning out ahead. We got 21 games left. We got to go, in my opinion, at least 15-6, somewhere around there, 14-7. Because if we get 14 games, that would put us at 33 wins. So, 43 wins. That's good, not great. Obviously, I would like more. But I think if we get to 43 wins, I think that that's enough to at least get into the 7th seed. Last year, if you look at the standings last year, 46 games was a playoff spot, and it was much more. There was much more just runway with the upper teams, right? Like you had several teams that had like 50 plus wins. The Suns had they only had like 18 losses. So it was just a different NBA. This NBA is a lot more tighter. So this NBA this year, I think won't require as many wins to get it. So for comparison, the Timberwolves were the 7th seed last year at 46 wins. The Nuggets were the 6th seed at 48 wins, right? But this year, I could see the 6th seed being like 44, 45 wins. And then I could see like the 7th seed being like 42, 41 maybe even, which is crazy to think about. But that's just how tight this season's been. It just really is. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about the Lakers? What do you think about us climbing up in the standings? It's nice. We're in the 12th seed now. Got to keep climbing. Got to keep growing. And, hopefully we get some breaks coming our way. Keep an eye on the other teams that are in front of us. Because, seriously, look, the Lakers shouldn't be. Because the Lakers just need to focus on the games ahead of them. You win outright, you're in. Don't worry about it. You need to win as many games as possible. But for us, for fans, it's fun to kind of like look into that stuff and explore that stuff and go, okay, like we need this team and this team and this team, right? So hopefully these teams continue to lose, and we're right there. We're right in the thick of things, which is good. Yes, we're a 12th seed, but we're better than a 12th seed without a doubt now. No question about that. And I really think we're going to continue to climb the standings, and I think we're going to be in a playoff spot. But anyway, love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below.